He wants to dress up as a real guy who murdered 9 people last year.
Oh, you're not doing that?
It's just a costume.
You're really weird, you know that?
Art the clown!
Did you already have ideas for a follow-up movie when you were writing the first film?
I had the character of Sienna, who's the protagonist, the one on the poster and the trailer with the in the angel, the Valkyrie costume. So I've had that character for a long time. I actually tried to make a movie with that character before the Terrifier short film, but it fell through. So I knew I always wanted to bring that character back. I didn't necessarily know where the story was going to go, but I'm constantly, every day, I'm constantly thinking of ideas and new scenarios to put art in and things like that. I mean, I just literally was jogging before, just thinking of scenes for a potential follow-up if we do another Terrifier and it's like something big. So I'm just constantly thinking of ways to improve the story or take it into new radical directions, fresh things.
You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
Are all the gore effects in the new film practical? I know you're committed to practical effects clearly, and with the increased budget, were you able to do something that you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, one of them is really cool. We built something very elaborate, the most elaborate thing I ever built as a makeup effects artist. So that was really fun. It was hard, but seeing the finished product and seeing it come to life was really exhilarating. But it's 99% practical, because there are cool things that I learned how to do with visual effects just to enhance the practicals. So I'm a big fan of, for instance, if you're using a dummy, like taking a plate or just taking the element of the real actor's face and putting it onto that dummy while you're doing horrible things to the dummy, because then it could react and it's just comes across as very realistic. It's very disturbing and horrifying. So we used that trick a couple of times, just things like that. And if we have to maybe erase like a blood tube or something like that, or it's good for just tweaking practicals, but it's all practical effects.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Terrifier was also pretty funny. To what extent is there comedy in Terrifier 2?
It's pretty organic the way his comedy comes through. A lot of times I just write these funny tidbits, these little like funny things for him to do. It became sort of a trope in these movies now for Art to sort of wink at the audience sometimes after every kill, or do something funny, and we noticed that more on part 1 that worked, and I started just working that into it, because I like the audience having fun with Art. I think that's one of the reasons why they love him so much, because of how much fun he's having doing it, and the more sadistic a thing is he's doing, it's just like the happier he is. And it's just like, just makes the audience feel unsure of themselves, I guess. Like, well, is it a good thing to be having so much fun with such a sadistic killer? And then with Dave's performance, Dave brings a lot of quirkiness to it and very theatrical. And he's so animated that he adds another level of levity with just his facial expressions and things like that. So it's a good combination of elements.
So Art doesn't seem to be quite human. Will we learn more about his nature in the new film?
Yeah, you're gonna, without giving away too many spoilers, you're definitely, this movie's more when you meet Sienna and her younger brother Jonathan, who is another character that I can't wait for people to see. He's sort of the one driving the story, because he's fascinated by Art, because Art is, the murders happen in their town, and he's already, so it's 1 year later, he's already this local legend. And Jonathan's trying to figure out, he's on websites and he's in newspaper clippings, and he's trying to put the pieces together and figure out like who this guy is. And if he's coming back, is he dead because he disappeared from the morgue? And there's all these theories of what. So he's like slowly uncovering clues and bits and pieces about what Art is or who he may be and this and that, as Art starts working his way into their lives physically, like he starts interacting with Sienna and things like that. So that's, you do start to learn things, but at the same time, more puzzle pieces are thrown at the audience where just even more questions are gonna come up. Because I sort of I've mentioned this, I'm hoping to make at least one more movie after this. So if everything is gonna get tied up, or as much as I wanted to, it would be in the final installment. But you'll definitely learn more about Art in this one.
Sir, what are you doing?
It wasn't me. He was covered in blood on his shirt and his hands when he got here.
I'm telling you, it was him, Ellie. Right down to the little black dot on the tip of his nose.
What are some horror movies that have inspired you in recent years?
In recent years, not many, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of modern horror movies,
Okay.
and I don't watch too many. I just constantly keep watching my older favorites, or try and find older ones that I haven't seen. But the best modern horror movie that I've seen in forever was Train to Busan, by far. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God. Like that movie. And I saw that recently, maybe like a year or two ago. And that movie just blew my mind. It was so perfect. So that was great. I like Midsommar and Hereditary.
Have you seen The Sadness yet?
I just saw that and I thought that was insane. Insane. I was telling everybody on my Instagram that they got to check that out. I think that's a movie that's like a force to be reckoned with in terms of graphic violence. Like,
Yeah, I feel like along the same lines of Terrifier, you're watching it, and when that violence hits, it's so novel and mind-blowing that you feel unsafe. You're like, anything can happen.
100%. Yeah, I thought that was super effective. I think that's Terrifier 2, I would say it's given us a run for our money with some of the scenes. I mean, that whole sexual element to the sadness added a whole nother layer of disturbing. It was so disturbing. But yeah, now we'll definitely we could definitely go up against the sadness, I would say, in the gore category.
My last question, you're not going to like this one. I'm going to make you choose between your babies. Which film do you like better and why?
Oh, 1 or 2?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually not hard at all. I like 2 by far.
Okay.
By far. I think it's superior in every way. The production value is so much greater. The story is bigger and the characters are more fleshed out and three-dimensional. I think people will really be invested in the characters this time. I like there's a big fantasy element in Terrifier 2 that wasn't in the first one. So I'm kind of mixing some other genres that I grew up loving, kind of just injecting them into this a little bit, which is fun and different. If you're going to go big, and we really swung for the fences with this one. And whether you like it or not, you will definitely acknowledge the fact that we swung for the fences. Like it's just undeniable.
That's what my readers want to hear.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Can't wait to see it, Damien.
Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to see it. I'm really, really excited.